What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and I thought we'd have some fun today and look at Wugtrio and its Undersea Tunnel attack, where we flip 3 coins, and for each head we discard the top 3 cards of our opponent's deck. I really like this card because with the addition of the new A-Spec Survival Brace, it's actually really nice because it requires our opponent to do the essential of like 7 prize cards rather than 6, keeping our Wugtrio around, allowing us to discard even more than our regular amount. And one of the other things too is that since the latest updates, we've gotten some new cards that actually help it out a lot. I really like the combo with Pidgeot EX, since one of the things that you're going to be able to do is if you lose your Survival Brace, one of the things that you'll have available to you is that you can use Roseanne's backup, or Roseanne's backup. I don't know why I always say Roseanne. But what it allows you to do is it allows you to shuffle Pokemon Tool into your discard pile, as well as a Stadium into your discard pile, and an Energy into your discard pile, and a Pokemon as well. All of that's super useful because what it allows you to do is you can search out with your Pidgeot to grab the Survival Brace again, being able to use it multiple times, as well as being able to use your Wastelands and other things like that, kind of searching for whatever you need. As for supporters, pretty much what we run is just Irida in order to grab ourselves our Wugtrios, since it is water, and also our Rare Candies to be able to evolve our Pidgeot. We also run the Roseanne, like I said, and we also run Iono just to be able to reshuffle our hands if we need to. Since we're always going to be at 6 prize cards, it makes it kind of nice, but also as our opponent's knocking out our Wugtrios, we're able to shuffle them down, make less cards in their hand, and continue to discard. We also run Energy Loto because we want to be able to get into our reversal energies as quickly as possible, as well as our double colorlesses, and set all that kind of stuff up. So yeah, that's kind of the list overall. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list down in the comment section down below, as well as anything else that you would kind of change or alter about the list. There won't be a tournament this Saturday. I'm just kind of too busy to be able to host it, but we will continue next Saturday, so be on the lookout for that, as well as feel free to join the community Discord. That'll be down in the comments or in the description down below. And be sure to let me know what you want to see next on the channel, whatever list you want to see or cards you want to see featured. And for the final announcement, I thought it'd be fun to kind of reach out for the next couple videos and stuff like that. If you're a Pokemon channel, it doesn't really matter your subscriber count or anything like that, but if you're another Pokemon channel, I kind of want to get involved more with the community and kind of do some collaborative work. So if you're another channel who's interested in that, feel free to reach out either in the comments or over Discord, or my email is in the About tab on my channel. So if you want to reach out about any of that, feel free to do so. I would love to do some collaborative work with some other channels coming forward. So I just think that'd be a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that and you also have a channel, feel free to reach out and we can work that stuff out. But yeah, I think that's it for all the announcements. So I'll see you guys in game 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're in game number 1 and we're going to be going first. We open the Manaphy and not much else, but that's fine for right now. Doesn't really matter if our Manaphy gets knocked out or if we get a little bit behind. We do have the Nest Ball and double Irida. So honestly, what we're going to do is just grab ourselves the Wiglett for now. We'll be able to play down the reversal energy, kind of slap that down, and pass. We see just the Squawkabilly. We can kind of assume that we're about to run into... We're more likely than not going to run into Raging Bolt, or it could be like Dark, like Ancient Boss. Either one of those, we're not really at too much of a threat. The Greninja doesn't tell us enough. This next Nest Ball should. Alright, so it's Raging Bolt. So unless they get themselves into the Prime Catcher, we're not really at any threat of our Wiglett getting knocked out. So we don't really have to care too much about that. We do see the Pokemon Catcher. They get the tails on that. That's kind of lucky for us. We see the discard of, what was that, 3 energy? 4? Kind of crazy. Also, if my voice sounds a little bit off in this video, I'm like getting sick, so that's why. It's why the not only have I just been, like, busy, but also just, like, getting sick has kind of made the videos come out a little bit slower than normal. So I do apologize for that. But we should be on our regular schedule coming up soon-ish, once I kind of get over this random summer's cold. We see the Pokégear. I assume they're looking for the Vitality. They do get it. They switch cart. They go Energy Retrieval. There's the Vitality for 1. Draw 3, manually attach the last energy. We will be able to counter catcher. Not that that'll make the biggest difference in the world, but it will kind of force them to have to use their manual attach for the turn on retreating. They'll discard 1 grass. We bring in Wiglett. We do get the Pidgey, which is kind of nice. We get Wugtrio down. Then what we're going to be able to do is Irida on this turn. Grab ourselves 1 Wiglett. And we'll be able to grab ourselves the Buddy Poffin. The reason why this is important is because then what we can do is go Buddy Poffin here, grab ourselves another Wiglett, and a backup Pidgey. We have the reversal energy in hand, which is going to be nice for us. Then what we can do is counter catcher. We'll bring the Squawkabilly into the active for now, actually. Yeah. We'll bring the Squawkabilly into the active for now. It doesn't really make a drastic difference, but the difference it'll make is that it does require their energy attachment for the turn in order to discard it, so that will help us out a little bit. We can place down the reversal energy here. We'll spin the Pokestop, see if we can get something off of it. We do lose out on a couple things we would have liked, and we don't hit the Energy Loto, so kind of an unfortunate sequence of events, but we will get the underground tunnel here, or undersea tunnel rather, with a huge come up. Alright, that's pretty big. We can't complain about that. We get rid of 2 Vitality, which is nice. We get rid of an Iono, which is pretty big. Another Raging Bolt. That's not the biggest deal in the world. But what's big there is that we get rid of another Vitality. So that means there's only 1 in the deck before they can Pokestop. Everything they pull out of their deck is going to matter, especially too because a lot of their cards obviously require them to draw, which is just going to thin their deck out even more. We are guaranteed a Wugtrio on our next turn. There's the energy attachment for the turn to retreat to go into Raging Bolt. If we hit a big... kind of depends on what happens here, but if we hit a big undersea tunnel again, then we're in a phenomenal spot. We'll Irida, grab ourselves our Wugtrio, and from here we can counter catcher. That may be our best play. We'll drop this. We're going to counter catcher, but this time we're going to counter catcher to the Raging Bolt. Mostly because it forces them to have to Vitality if they're going to get anywhere. Well, Energy Loto, that does get us a reversal energy, which is nice. We can place this down. We'll Pokestop just to see if it gets us something. It gets us the Ultra Ball, which is honestly okay for us right now. We can go Undersea Tunnel. It's going to have to do. The main thing is that the Ultra Ball really helps us because... Well, I hope that didn't go terribly. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. I don't know if it came up on the mic, but two cars just, like, freaked out at the intersection outside my apartment. There's always something happening here. Like, there's always some wackiness going on. The main thing, though, is that what we'll be able to do here... So they go Counter Catcher. That's pretty big for us. It forces them to have to bring in the old Raging Bolt. Then, depending on what we draw, like, that's pretty good for us. They go Energy Retrieval. We could get them to deck out, depending on how this Undersea Tunnel goes. We'll draw. We'll see what we get off our top deck. We do get an Eri. I'm going to go ahead and play that, and we'll get rid of the PAL Pad and the Trekking Shoe. We'll go Pokestop here. Alright, that's huge. So now what we can do is Ultra Ball, get rid of this and this. We have the Rare Candy. Ooh, that sucks, actually. Tells us that our other Pidgeot is prized. Alright, so we kind of need to come up big here. We were able to get rid of the PAL Pad, which is pretty big. Huge! That's incredible. A gambler's delight, some would say. Had we lost, or had we flipped like triple tails there, then we probably would have lost. But if we just hit 2, then we were pretty much fine, because they didn't have a way to reshuffle cards. So we could have just stalled out like the last 2 attacks, but that could have gotten sketchy. But it doesn't matter, we hit triple heads, and we're going to take the victory, decking them out in a little bit of an awkward fashion, but we'll take it. That's going to be game 1, and we'll jump into game 2 in a moment, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're in a game number 2, and we're going to be going first. We do open Wiglett. We have the Iono for the next turn. We have the Nest Ball and the Buddy Poffins, so all pretty good for us. We'll get to see what our opponent's playing in a moment. It is Roaring Moon. We even have our Wugtrio for the next turn. Obviously, we would love to have an energy placement for the turn right now, but that's just not going to work out for us, at least not at this moment. We can go double Wiglett, though. And we'll go Accompanying Flute. We'll grab the other Roaring Moon, place that down, shuffle their deck up, and pass. We don't want to play the Greninja because it gives them draw options, but we do get to shuffle the deck up, meaning that their Greninja probably won't come into play on this turn unless they Nest Ball for it. Which they do. So it didn't work out exactly the way we wanted, but that's okay. They're going to be able to Pokégear. They go Guidance. If we lose out on a Wiglett here, though, not really the biggest deal in the world. The other thing about this matchup, though, that's actually kind of nice is because of how many Guidance they're going to play, they are going to be discarding and kind of milling through their own deck pretty quickly. The Secret Box comes out. They get rid of their Roaring Moon EXs. And because we already saw the guidance, we're not really worried too much about getting attacked this turn. Which is nice. We'll also be able to Iono as well. We know that they do have 1 Vitality in hand. So we'll get to place that to the bottom of the deck. We do get double Wiglett here, which is kind of nice. What we'll be able to do is just place those both down onto the bench. We can drop the Iono here. We'll let the Wiglett in the active get KO'd. And we get ourselves another Pidgey. And we'll drop the Wasteland for now and go double turbo onto this Wiglett in the back and pass our turn. What we'll be able to do is if this Wiglett gets knocked out this turn, great. If it doesn't, also not the biggest deal in the world for us. Depending on our top deck, we'll be able to get some stuff done, since what we can do is Irida, grab ourselves a new Wiglett, place it down. We'll be able to bring in our Wugtrio, because we'll also be able to grab the Rare Candy, evolve our Pidgeot, quick search for a Reversal Energy, and kind of start going from there. And then, like I said, our opponent's just going to be digging through their own deck pretty quickly, so it all kind of works out in our favor. Like, they're going to end up decking out. I feel like even if we didn't do anything, they're going to end up decking themselves out before they could even attack through us for the 6 prize cards they'd even have to take, even if we, like, literally didn't do anything from this point. So, we'll bring in the Wugtrio. We get the Reversal Energy just off rip, which is pretty huge. That means we can go Irida here, grab our Wiglett, and our Rare Candy. Getting the Reversal Energy is pretty big because it does allow us to search with our Pidgeot EX for something other than the energy. So what we can actually do here is just go quick search. We can grab ourselves the Counter Catcher. Our Survival Brace is prized, which we don't love. That definitely sucks. We would really like to see that. But we can go Counter Catcher here. They're going to have to manually attach to Retreat, which they can't even do because they have the Wasteland. So they have to clear the Wasteland. Alright, really unlucky turn. They're going to have to clear the Wasteland, though, in order to have the ability to manually attach and retreat. They could be playing the Switch. If they're not, then that kind of works out for us, which most decks are only running like 1. We see the first of what we can assume is 2 Super Rods. The Ultra Ball, this will get them the Roaring Moon EX. Yep. There's a Dark Patch. They could go Energy Switch if they play it, but we don't see any Water Energies, so I assume they don't. Yeah. So, the Wasteland coming up huge, the Counter Catcher coming up pretty big. We can go ahead and Pokégear. We don't find anything. But that's still fine. What we'll be able to do here is just go ahead and we'll quick search out the Jet Energy. The main reason for that is that way we can go, place this, bring it in. We'll drop the Iono here, mostly because they already have 5 cards in hand, which, you know, is whatever. But they're going to just draw back to the same amount, so we're not giving them more cards in their deck to work with, but what we are doing is giving ourselves an entirely new hand to work with, which is pretty big. We'll be able to drop the Accompanying Flute, see if we find anything. We do. This fills up their bench, but also what it does is it gets more cards out of their deck, which is also kind of something that we're looking for. It also gives us other targets to use as counter catcher targets. So we can go Undersea Tunnel. 1, 2. 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Put them down to 6 cards. We get rid of the Iron Bundle. Not that they could have played it anyway, but we also, really what we do is we get rid of the Pokestop, which is pretty big, and then any energy that they had is going to be at the bottom of their deck. So it stops them from being able to manually attach to the Greninja to retreat out, which means we're going to get another turn of Undersea Tunnel and get that dealt with. They use their second Super Rod. They don't have any energy in the deck. They go Boss's Orders. So it stalls for a turn, but what we can do is just go ahead and Irida. Grab ourselves our Wugtrio. And we'll grab the Rare Candy. We'll go ahead and evolve our Wugtrio. Ultra Ball. Get rid of the 2 Buddy Poffin. Grab ourselves our other Pidgeot EX. Drop that down. Allows us to search. We can retreat. Bring our Wugtrio back in. We'll drop the Reversal Energy. And Quick Search. To grab... At this point, we really don't need anything at all. We'll just grab the Irida. Sure, why not? Doesn't really matter. I mean, the game's gonna be over right here anyway. Right? For the 3 coin flips? 1. Oh. Alright, again, 2 out of 3. Pretty good. We get rid of the Guidance and the Vitality. Again, not that that matters, because, you know, they're going to deck themselves out. Little do they know, I'm just going to counter catcher that Greninja back. They knock us out. We get to bring in Wugtrio. I'm actually not gonna bother. To counter catcher, we're just gonna leave it all up to the dice or cards. What? Coins. 2 out of 3. At least we're consistent. I'm gonna pass our turn and force them to deck out. So another game down, having fun. We didn't get triple coin flips at any point, I don't think, but we hit 2 out of 3 really consistently, so honestly that's not bad. So we're going to jump into game 3 in a moment, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3. Our opponent won the coin flip and is opting to go first. We do open Manaphy, which is not the most ideal thing in the world, but, you know, not that bad. We do have the Buddy Poffin, though, so we'll be able to get ourselves some pieces. We can Iono to set ourselves up for the next turn. We see Squawkabilly open again. Are we against Raging Bolt a second time? Are 2 out of our 3 games just running into Raging Bolt? Well, we see the Grass Energy. That kind of tells us enough. Alright, that's a really bad hand for them, and something that really sucks to be discarded. Wait, what's the Fire Energy for? Wait, am I missing something? And they added it back to hand. So they definitely won it. Are they playing like a one of Radiant Charizard maybe? Losing both bosses and the Prime Catcher is really rough, though. Sad days for my opponent, for sure. We'll go 2 Wiglets and a Pidgey. Hit the Iono. Get ourselves something to work with here. Honestly, that's pretty big. We'll go Energy Loto here. We miss, which is pretty sad. But we'll be able to end our turn. And honestly, that's kind of totally fine for us, because we can go Wugtrio, we can Irida for a second Wugtrio. Oh! I just assumed it was Raging Bolt, but it's not. It's Dragapult. Oh, or not Dragapult. It's this thing, Regidrago V. That's what I was looking for. That's pretty cool. I just kind of assumed when I saw the Raging Bolt and the Prime Catcher and like stuff like that. But I guess the energy switch should have gave it away. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of works out for me, but still pretty cool. So, my Manaphy's fine for another turn. Which is both, like, good and bad. Alright, so we can evolve here. We'll go Irida. At this point, we'll just grab ourselves another Wiglett. We can go Rare Candy. Rare Candy, place that down. Grab ourselves the Wiglett. Place the Wugtrio. Go ahead and quick search. And from here... Cool, we have Survival Brace. That's pretty exciting. From here, I'm just going to grab myself the double colorless energy. Or double turbo energy, rather. Place it onto the Wugtrio and pass. I feel like that's my best play. And kind of wait to see, like, if they spend another turn not knocking out my Manaphy, then I'll, you know, adjust the, I'll kind of adjust the play. Oh, I kind of didn't really think about Dragapult. That's going to make this a little bit annoying. I'm going to have to make a much larger focus on... Because they're going to take 2 prize cards here with the Wiglett. Okay, that's kind of annoying. So, I can bring in Wugtrio here. The benefit is that they are going through their deck pretty quickly. That research makes this a lot easier. We'll see what I top deck. If I could top deck a reversal energy here, that would be so big. Because they're going to go Dragapult here, knock out the Wiglett in the back. Is my assumption. Weird they're running triple Dragapult EX, though. Like, I understand some builds running 2, but... Oh. Wait, they put the 60 damage onto that? Alright. Alright, that makes my life a lot easier. So I can go Irida here, grab this, and grab the counter catcher for now. Place down the Wugtrio, make it so that doesn't get knocked out. Then what I can do is I'll use the first counter catcher, bring this into the active, force them to have the energy switches all over again, and then from here I can quick search on this turn, I could look for an Iono with attempting to get into any of these energies, but right now it's not super ideal. So I'm just going to grab myself the Jet Energy. Place this down and Deep Sea Tunnel. Since for now, what I can do, like, I can just keep... Alright. 1 out of 3 isn't the most ideal, but it's fine. We're mostly just looking to make sure... On the next turn, I can grab myself the reversal energy again. The Iono's fine with me. Actually, that helps me a lot more than he thinks. Alright, the Iono of my own is okay. Because I can grab myself the reversal energy. He needs a second energy switch. Every teal dance just brings me closer to ending the game. Alright, there's a switch. Still totally fine. We can Iono at the end of this turn. Pretty much get ourselves an entirely new hand. Look for our reversal energy or survival brace, whatever one we don't find. We'll just be able to pick up after. They should spread the damage 30 and 30. Because now they don't get the KO here if we find the survival brace. So we'll shuffle these back into the deck. Go ahead and Buddy Poffin. Get ourselves the 2 Wiglets. Then what we can do is go ahead and Iono first. It keeps them at the same deck count, so it doesn't really matter. See if we find a reversal energy, which we are able to do, so we can go ahead and slap that down. We can go Accompanying Flute, see if there's anything in their deck. There is. That's pretty big. And then honestly from here, instead of going Survival Brace, which yes I want to do, but what's kind of more important right now is I'm pretty positive I can just go Counter Catcher again. Pull this up, and there's going to be nothing they can do. Because they're already out of energy switches. At least enough to attack with. So I'm pretty positive. We can just pull this into the active. Go Undersea Tunnel. We get the 2 heads, which is good enough for us. We really just needed to prep in case we didn't. Because let's say we only got 1 out of the 2, or yeah, like 1 out of the 3, and we needed a situation where they couldn't easily retreat and KO us. Let's say that they did, they took 2 more prize cards. It's still okay because we had another Wugtrio on the bench that they couldn't have KO'd since they spread the damage wrong. So then we could have brought that in and quick searched for our last reversal energy and kind of gotten the win that way, provided that we didn't just flip all tails. But if we were in a situation where we absolutely needed to, we could search for Survival Brace. Had they chosen to spread the damage correctly, we would have had to go Survival Brace there. But since they didn't, we could have the reassurance in placing down the searching out the counter catcher rather. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you like the list or want to see other things like it, be sure to let me know down in the comment section down below, as well as other cards you want to see featured on the channel, as well as other deck lists, things like that. And yeah, check out the community Discord. It's down in the description below. And kind of following the final announcement from the deck breakdown thing, if you are another Pokemon channel and you kind of want to do some collaborative work, be sure to either let me know in the comments, either reach out on Discord, or reach out from my email, and we can start kind of collabing, getting something done, because I think it'd be a lot of fun to kind of interact more with the larger community and do some stuff with other channels. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna go kind of have some tea and rehab my voice a little bit, because my throat really hurts. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Thanks for watching.